Steven, I don't want to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but is it me, or does it seem like there's too many Girls Gone Wild documentary promos during the NBA playoffs?
That doesn't make you sound old. It makes you sound a lot older when you say fuddy-duddy.
Probably.
So
I like
there's
that
your
term, though.
there's your issue. I don't want to sound old like an old fuddy-duddy. Well,
I
when
don't
you
want to
call
sound like
yourself
a
an old
boomer.
fuddy-duddy, that sounds like it's old.
Should I say boomer? Is that what the kids like these days?
I don't know. You and I are almost the same age. It's stop acting like you're old. You have a weird thing where you really want to be old. It's odd.
Steven, as a fellow old man, do you think that it's weird that we get these find out what's going on with the Girls Gone Wild secrets?
Yeah, it is pretty weird, but there's no way there is something fishy going on with Girls Gone Wild.
I know, but it's just, I mean, I do not find it hard to believe. It's just funny to me. Like, I'm doing a Marv Albert voice and he's not doing NBA anymore, but it'd just be like, we'll go into the dirty secrets about what's going on with Girls Gone Wild. And it's no secret tonight that Steph Curry is great off the bench.
Yeah, it is a little odd. A little weird.
Yeah, just a little weird. Just a little weird.
Mm.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Just Your Opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. Ernie's already in the chat. It's all about Tommy and Pam, Girls Gone Wild, etc. Yeah, exactly. They're doing like some scandalous shit on TNT, and they got to promote it on TNT.
Yeah,
during the NBA playoffs. I should say.
True crime, man. True crime is what's popping right now. Everything is true crime.
People love the crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steven, let's get right into it, my friend. Warriors. Are they back to their old playoff ways where they just are dominating the shit out of other teams?
Not yet, because it's been 2 games. If they're back to their old playoff ways, then we're talking, 16-1. Yeah. And so they're not back to their old ways, and they're playing a Nuggets team. Let's face it, not a good team. Without Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray, in the words of Mr. Matt Steinmetz, who we had on last episode, they stink. They don't have anybody. Aaron Gordon is afraid to go to the basket because of Draymond Green. And the new lineup that Steve Kerr is bringing in has a 204.3 offensive rating. They've been really good, though. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
It's been fun. I hear you. We're not going to jump the gun here because while the Warriors have been fun in these 2 games, they're up 2-0 against the Denver Nuggets. Mm-hmm. And yes, the Nuggets are a different team without Jamal Murray and without Michael Porter, but they still have Jokic, and it's incredible. It's incredible to me how good the Warriors have looked in these 2 games. And we can go through it. Jordan Poole has scored 59 points in his first 2 playoff games, second to old Wilt. And we talked about this last podcast. I suggested it. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did happen. Steph Curry off the bench, and he was a little rusty in the first game, a little rusty in the second game too to start things off, but comes away with 34 points. The Warriors lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green may be the best lineup they've ever had. And I know, I know that's a fair look. Just hear me out, Steven. It's incredible what Jordan Poole is doing. And we can talk about what nickname. I know it's been the whole thing with the Barrier today of what the nickname should be of this lineup. But before we get to all that stuff, it's incredible the way they played last night. And you're looking at me with all of this skepticism right now. Speak on it, sir.
Since when did you become this has been the best team since this? You normally hate that type of radio/podcasting. What's up with you?
I'm just
Are you okay right now, Derek?
No, I'm not okay, actually. I got to drink some water, and I've had a long day, but let me just think for a second.
Well, what happened in your day? We'll get back to it, but what happened with your day, man? Let's talk it over.
Just a long day. Just a long day of work. It's all good.
But okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had a great time watching the game last night. And I got a little bit of a headache right now. So if I'm not sounding clear, I apologize. But watching the game last night, I haven't felt that much joy watching the Warriors in a long time. And it may just be because they have been in the playoffs. But they look good, man. And the play last night where Jordan Poole blocked the shot and then turned around and shot the three, it's probably one of the best plays I've seen in quite some time. They are just clicking like they did back in the day, like the 2015 team. And I know this is going to be crazy. I know some people are going to roll their eyes at this, but just hear me out. When Kevin Durant was with the Warriors, it was fantastic basketball. But I never thought that they clicked on all cylinders like they could have. Even though they won 2 championships, even though they went to 3 straight finals, I never thought that they fully played to their potential. And I know that sounds crazy. I know I could be in the minority here. Kevin Durant wanted to play a certain style of basketball. He bought in at certain times with passing the ball and whatnot. I think Jordan Poole fits in this offense so much better than Kevin Durant did. So, with that regard, I am saying that this could be the best lineup we've seen with the Warriors. Even though Kevin Durant is a better player than Jordan Poole, and Steph Curry, we love him to death, but Kevin Durant may be the best player to have ever played for the Warriors. I'm not saying he's the best Warrior of all time, but he may, when it's all said and done, he might be the best player to have ever played for the Warriors. But schematically, I think that Jordan Poole brings something to this offense that Kevin Durant could not. He's in just the way the offensive flows. Like you watch it with Winning Time with Jack McKinney talking about, I want everybody moving at the same time, passing, always doing the extra pass. This is what Steve Kerr envisioned, in my opinion, of how this team can play. So I do think that the Warriors are at their most lethal with Jordan Poole in this lineup than they were with Kevin Durant. I know that sounds crazy, and I may think that listening back to this, that this is just completely idiotic of what I'm saying. But just watching it last night, I think this is the best. I know they're playing an inferior team. I think this is the best they've looked in quite some time.
I'm not going to say that it's better than the KD lineup. They won, like you said, they won 2 championships and went to 3 straight finals. Now, granted, I get where you're coming from, though, in terms of the ball movement and how fluid that it looks. But I also think that some of it was like, I think some of the off the court media stuff with Kevin Durant and all of that, I think that it changed our perception of just how well they were playing. They weren't just a good lineup. They're one of the greatest teams that we have seen in the history of the NBA. And I don't know if I could put this lineup over any greatest team in the history of the NBA from those couple of years. Now, I'm not trying to dilute what they're doing, but I think there are some valid points in that people who don't think so, well, they've played the Nuggets, and the Nuggets just aren't that good. And I think recency bias has really hit us right now. But the lineup's a lot of fun to watch. I can't deny that. My favorite play, and I went to the absolute of saying, oh, that might have been my favorite play of the season, was it involved everybody because Monte Morris was left wide open for a 3. He misses it. Then Jokic and Andrew Wiggins are fighting for the rebound. Jokic tips the ball. Andrew Wiggins forces that, and then the ball gets to Draymond Green. Draymond brings it up court. 2 guys go after Klay Thompson, who's looking like he's going to go for a dribble handoff behind Draymond Green, but instead Draymond passes it to Jordan Poole, and then Jordan Poole is on the right wing, and he basically looks like he's going to drive to the hoop. 2 guys go back toward him. They leave Klay, and then he jumps up, gets it behind the back pass to Klay, and Klay goes in for the layup. That was with less than a minute left in the first half. But that was unbelievable what we saw. I don't know. Like, we'll never know if this is going to be a better lineup than the one with Kevin Durant. Because I understand what you're saying. There was some ISO ball involved there, and it was frustrating at times because Steph wouldn't be getting his and KD wouldn't be getting his. But I just can't go that far, man. I can't.
No, I know. Far. I'm being extremely hyperbolic right now, but just
you are. This is a different you, man. Are you like? That's why I asked you. Are you okay?
I think I switch bodies with someone that likes to. I don't know. I can't think of anybody at the top of my head right now, but right. I know what I sound like right now, and believe me, if they lose the next game, I'll take everything back. But It seems to me, I'm not saying that they're better than the KD Warriors. I'm not saying that.
Right.
What I'm saying is that this offense flows better with Jordan Poole than it did with Kevin Durant. And I'm not saying that it wasn't good. Believe me, it was some of the best basketball I've ever seen. And I think some people don't want to admit that they just want to say that it ruined basketball, that Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, it just ruined basketball without acknowledging the beauty of how they played together. However, watching last night and watching Saturday night, that is the pinnacle, I think, of them playing together. And it was Steph Curry coming off the fucking bench. And let's talk about that for a second. How many superstars do you think would be willing to come off the bench like that? How many guys do you think would be they don't have anything to prove? Steph Curry has won 3 championships. He's been MVP. And in a way to get back on the court and what's best for the team and to go with the coaching staff and the medical staff, he thought it was best, along with Steve Kerr, to come off the bench. And this isn't the first time he's done this in playoff games. I think that it's a testament to Steph Curry of how good of a guy he is and how good of a teammate he is, that he wasn't going to jeopardize the team and just said, I'll come off the bench. And they did it for 2 straight games. I don't know if that's going to be the case for game 3, but I commend Steph Curry for doing that.
David Lee. But he's not
a star. David Lee's a superstar? Come on.
But he's not a superstar.
Andre Iguodala?
No, I don't know how many superstars would be willing to do that, but how many superstars have come back from a month off back into the playoffs? It's not like he's going to be relegated to a bench role throughout the playoffs. It was just because he was injured. Like, I get it, of course. Like, there's not many other stars that'd be willing to do that, and he'd probably want to be put in the starting lineup right away. But in the end, dude, it makes his rotations much more consistent, a lot easier than it was with Klay Thompson. He looked back at Klay Thompson and he saw the way that they were handling it to start out. It's like Klay Thompson just entered back into the rotation and they really didn't know what to do. There was like, it's like you'd bring him in for 4 minutes and then you'd put him on the bench and then you'd sit him for another 6, and then 2 minutes toward the end of the first quarter, you'd bring him back in and then you'd start him in the second. It was just so jumbled with Klay. But with Steph, 34 points in 23 minutes, I think it's the most amount of points scored in that amount of time since 1975, starting or not, which is just a crazy stat in itself. But no, I'm with you though, man. He did it without any hesitancy whatsoever. But he's still keeping that free throw. He's still keeping that technical free throw though, which was hilarious to me. I thought to myself, man, like, how crazy is it that we're saying Jordan Poole, like, hey, you think he should replace him with technical free throws? And you actually have a valid question.
Oh, come on.
Like, you do. Jordan Poole's a 93% free throw shooter, and he missed 2 technicals yesterday. Jordan Poole does not miss from the free throw line.
I know, but Steph Curry doesn't usually either.
What?
Steph Curry doesn't usually either.
I know, but the fact that you have a valid point, like, oh, you think Jordan Poole should be shooting the technicals from now on? Well, he is the best free throw shooter in the league. Maybe you should think about it. I never even thought it would be a conversation ever. Like, ever. It'd be Steph till he retires. He's going to take the techs.
Yeah.
And I still think that he should take the techs. It doesn't really matter to me. It's just, anyway, it's 1 point, maybe 2 points, depending on how much you frustrate the team. But yeah, it's valid. It's valid.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not ready to go there yet, but I just think
you're not ready to go there, but you're ready to call this team one of the better lineup without.
Just hear me out, Steven. I'm trying to have an intellectual basketball conversation with you. I think the offense flows better with Jordan Poole than it does with Kevin Durant. Are you listening to me, Paul Westhead? Can you figure it out?
Paul Westhead, was he really that? What's the word? I want to say like
Shakespearean,
insecure, but man, Paul Westhead in that show. I started watching it. I think I got to the.
Where are you now? I
think I've watched the 5 episodes.
Okay. So you saw when Kareem and Magic got into it?
No. So the last episode that I saw, funnily enough, this new lineup looks like.
Did you say funnily?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Funnily? Like a funnel?
No, like funnily, like Funnily.
Isn't funny enough? It's not funnily enough.
I don't know. I'm British, man. We say things weird.
We're both off our game today.
Yeah, we are a little bit. But I just watched the training camp episode, Palm Springs. Like literally what you're talking about right now.
When Jack McKinney falls off the bike.
Yeah, and the orange juice, and Kareem not liking the orange juice. Magic saying, "Hey, man, you like the orange juice? You don't like my juice?" Magic got the juice, but the ball was moving in winning time. At the end of that practice, at the end of that episode, that's how the ball was moving at the end of the first half of the Warriors.
Yeah,
like they were just doing whatever they wanted. It really was like Harlem Globetrotter basketball. But I need to see more of it. And hey, that's not to say, oh, I don't want to see more of it. Like I can't wait. I can't wait till the next game. I want to see how they do in Game 3 and how they pick things up. But I'm curious, man. How are they gonna? I wonder how they're gonna pull out that starting five. I wonder what they're gonna do.
That's the interesting thing. Is obviously Steph is going to start again at some point.
Yes, and Steph is going to be back.
Yes, and I think it probably will be Game 3. And do you need to start the game with this lineup? Is it better to keep Jordan Poole off and keep the second unit on their toes too with him in there? I mean, I think you're going to finish every game with those five guys, but
look at the way they started out that game. It was just, hey, let's get the ball to Jokic in the lower mid block or the elbow, whichever one it is, and let him go to work. Like, that's really all it was in the beginning of the game. And then he drew a couple of easy fouls on Kevon Looney. Then they took Looney out for essentially the rest of the game, and they were just using Draymond and Otto Porter Jr. and Wiggins as really as the front court. So I don't know, man. It's going to be hard for Steve Kerr to make that decision. Do you think Steph's going to still stay on? I mean, I don't even need him to come off. I don't even need him to start for the rest of the series. Like, this series to me is over. It's done. They might
don't do that now. No, now you're jinx it.
No, come on, dude. Be real. You really think the Nuggets are going to win this series? You think they could beat the Warriors in this series?
I'm never going to be one of those. Despite the fact of me saying that Jordan Poole is better for the Warriors than Kevin Durant, I'm never going to say that the series is over.
Well, okay. Fine. Fine. Mister, I'm not doing absolutes, and you start off the damn thing with this Kevin Durant stuff. My goodness.
No, I start off with me saying that I think that Girls Gone Wild should be taken off of NBA broadcasts. I'm so prudish now.
You know what was getting really frustrating for me on that broadcast, too, was the way that Stan Van Gundy was talking about Jordan Poole.
Let's get to that in a quick second because I didn't want to bring that up with you. But real quick, did you go to the game on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Nice. How was that?
It was awesome, man.
You pay the scratch, or you get the hookup, or
I got the little media pass,
Oh, you're doing did you go to the old? Oh, it's not Oracle. So back in the day, I used to do the thing where where I'd sit at the Stella Lounge and just watch the game on delay. But I would want to be there and then try to sneak my way up to the media section, and then people give me dirty looks, and I had to leave.
No, well, they have a bunch more room than at Oracle now. So if you
went to the tippy top,
yeah. Well, I mean, I was hearing, because I knew this guy who was actually, it's funny, man. This guy from who works at KMBR, he was originally me and him were classmates in Chico State, the end of our major, and then he recently got a video job with KMBR. So we were actually sitting together at the game, and we were side by side, and it's like, damn, we used to be in the same major together. Now we're like sitting in the media section. This is cool. But at
drop
the same
his name,
Michael Connell.
Oh, yeah.
And he ended up he was looking at the seating chart. He's like, go look at your name. And you see the seating charts, and 125 and 126 are the main like media sections. And then you see all the popular media names in 125 and 126. I'm like, can't see my name anywhere. Then you see Bridge 1, Row 1, Seat 4, Stephen Langford. And then the Sam Lubman, who also produces. And then Warriors IT next to us.
Nice.
So we were right up there, man, but it was a great time.
That's a good thing about Chase Center is more media availability, because that was a pain in the ass before at Oracle. Even though I love Oracle.
Yeah, no, there's a lot more there. At least when I was asking questions like crazy, like trying to get ready, like, Whitley, what do I do? Like, where do I go?
No, I thought I thought you were going to do Stephen Langford, 95.7 of the game. Steve, what do you want to call this lineup?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually told Steph, I was like, hey, man, the Kerrfect lineup. But anyway, no, it was a good time, man. The only thing is, like, I got a lot of, comparisons or people asking me for comparisons about Oracle compared to Chase Center. And the reality is, like, you can't compare the two right now. Like, Chase Center still needs a little bit of aging, I guess, for lack of a better term. You need a few more playoff games in there. You need to see a game 7. You got to see a buzzer beater. Like, you got to see all those different things before you can make the snap judgment. Although I will say, people are not wearing their Warrior shirts as much.
I don't like that. Don't like that at all. But were people getting hyphy after big shots?
What's that?
People getting hyphy after big shots.
Yeah. No, it was well, the problem was, I guess there were a couple of plays. There was Draymond's 3 at the top of the 3-point line. That one had everyone going nuts. I was like, what the hell is going on? Because it was like a broken play, and you could see Draymond's just standing there waiting for like an open man. And then there wasn't an open man, so he decided to take the shot, and then it goes in. There was that. The Jordan Poole and 1. I think that was in the first half. Then Gary Payton's block on Jokic in that first game, not the second game, because he didn't pat him on the butt in the second game, or in the first game, rather.
Oh, yeah. I'll get to that, too. Jokic.
People were going insane. People were going insane, though, after GP2 made that block. But then in the second half, the game was out of reach for the Nuggets, and the crowd was just kind of, they were, I wanted to say they were into it, but they weren't like, going crazy.
And Belicia playing way better than fucking Jokic is right now.
Belicia?
What'd I call him?
Belicia,
my bad. I'm all off today, Steven.
Bielitsa,
my bad. I always mispronounce his name. But he's playing well. He's playing better than Jokic is right now.
You know what, man? I do got to give him credit. He's being aggressive, and he isn't playing to the point where he is a detriment on the court, which he has been in some games during the season, trying to do too much, turning the ball over, not knocking down his shots when he gets an opportunity. In his, whatever he's going to get, 10 to 20 minutes on the floor. I don't know what that number is exactly, but whenever he gets his time, man, he's, he was aggressive. I liked what he did yesterday and in game 1 too. I'm a fan.
Bielitsa. Thank you, Stephen Babs. I got it now.
Yes, we got Stephen Babb and Ernie just going crazy on the comments right now. What a time.
So, Stephen, you brought it up. So the big controversy before the game was that we all expected Jordan Poole to be named Most Improved Player of the Year, and he wasn't even a finalist.
Yeah.
And I saw that live on TNT, and I was like, what the fuck is this about? And then Stan Van Gundy tries to justify this because he's a voter for the award, and he gave the explanation that it's more so the players that play don't get more playing time. The players that have established starting roles that get more playing, that get more established roles are playing better than the year before. So who was up for it? Ja Morant,
Darius Garland, and DeJounte Murray.
Okay. And his point was that Jordan Poole is just getting more opportunities this season, so he's not improved. He's just playing more, which I call bullshit. I don't know what the textbook definition is of this award, but I think that Jordan Poole qualifies for it. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't really care. It's a regular season award. If Jordan Poole keeps doing this, no one will care that he was even nominated for this award. If they win a final or he wins a finals MVP, we're a long way from that. That's the only thing that matters to me at this point.
I agree. He also used the reasoning. Sorry, I got the Giants game here. Oof, Crawford almost had a base
doubleheader, huh?
Yeah, a little postponed game action.
Yeah, and the Mets won today, right, on the extras?
Yeah, they won already, and they're up 3-0 right now. It's not looking good. But you know what? Whatever. Earlier on in the season, this might be the best Giants lineup we've ever seen, Derek. But no, Van Gundy was also saying, because I actually really like SVG on the broadcast. I like both Van Gundy brothers. I enjoyed their work. Now, granted, sometimes Jeff Van Gundy can sound like, the drunk uncle at a party who's just like randomly giving a take in the middle of the game that doesn't have.
Where's the Girls Gone Wild promos? Come on, Breen.
Something like that. It's just like, That wasn't that hard of a butt slap from GP2 on Nikola Jokic. I think he could have made that harder. I think Jokic overreacted. Anyway, but Stan
Now,
Van Gundy
sorry to cut you up, but now I want to hear now is Mike Breen do promos for Girls Gone Wild. Girls Gone Wild coming up tonight. Bang! Bang!
Where you were going there. Yeesh. I'm going to just move off of that one. And Stan Van Gundy, most improved player, he said that last year, Jordan Poole already put the league on notice. Like, everyone had already known that he is improved as a player. I'm like, Ja Morant's on the list. Yeah. Ja Morant is on the list.
Went to the playoffs.
Let me say it one more time. Ja Morant is on the list. It's not like he was a slouch last year. What are we talking about?
Where's Ja?
Huh?
The old Dave Chappelle thing. Where's Ja?
Yes, I know. But yeah, man, I got very frustrated by that throughout the game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm a fan of Jordan Poole's, and I like. I haven't come across it. Like, are all these like videos of him as a kid? Like, were they old, or are they just popping up now? Have you seen these?
Oh yeah,
where he's singing Mike Epps. I like big girls.
Yeah. That was. I mean, those are just popping up now. They're clearly old, but they're
no. I know they're old, but I didn't know if there was like a thing like throughout the season that people like. I don't know how people are getting these, but I'm loving me some Jordan Poole old school videos of him as a kid or him on the sideline licking whatever the hell he's doing. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Jordan Poole.
You mean what was it like
when he's having a conversation? He's having a conversation with Andre Iguodala, and then mid sentence he just starts going.
You mean the commentators are talking about how these older veterans have really developed these young players and made them into the stars that they are today?
And who knows what the hell they're talking about? Yeah, exactly. And Draymond's playing great defensively. He's shutting down Jokic, and he's definitely getting in his head because Jokic, from the butt slap to him getting thrown out last night, and it's a thing with him because who did he hurt this year? Was it Marcus Smart or he pushed somebody, right?
Marcus Morris
pushed him. He was out for a month. Last year, he got thrown out of a game. It was the game 4 game against the Suns, I want to say, where he lost his shit and got thrown out of that game. Yeah. Jokic, for being MVP, he'll rightfully win it again. You could make the argument for Joel Embiid, whoever's going to win it, but he's a sore loser, and he gets really pissy. And I don't know. I'm glad that the Warriors take it to him because he has a problem against Draymond.
Yeah, but I think it was also just the way that the offense was playing that got everyone on the team heated. I think the guy that Draymond's frustrating the most is Aaron Gordon. Like Aaron Gordon in that first game, I mean, Draymond essentially blocked him twice on a single possession. Aaron Gordon didn't know what to do there. And then yesterday, you just see Draymond waiting in the low block, just waiting for Aaron Gordon to try and make a dunk. And Gordon, just passes it off, just doesn't even want to try to go against Draymond. So I think he has more Aaron Gordon's number. And with Jokic, it's a combination. It's a combination of Draymond and everybody else on the team. There's nothing better than when you see the other team fighting because of what you're doing. Another one of my favorite plays from that, because I watched that 6 minutes over, I think 4 different times. It was just one of the best 6 minute stretches that I've seen the entire season. The best 6 minute stretch I've seen the entire season. I really can't think of another one. So I was watching that, and the play where Steph is just taking the ball up the court, and Jokic, and I think it was Will Barton who Aaron Gordon's pointing at him, say, "Hey, get Steph." And they're just trying to double team him. But Gordon and Morris are or it could have been a mix of Will Barton and Monte Morris, whatever. They were just waiting for Clay and Jordan Poole, even though you could tell Clay is just walking. He's not even bothering to try and get back. He's just doing a slow jog. Steph's the only one with the ball. Then he pulls up and hits a three-pointer because they're too scared that he's going to drive to the hoop, because that's exactly what he did at the beginning of the 6 minutes. I think he was super aggressive there to start out. That wasn't talked nearly enough about today. We always talk about with Kyle Shanahan and other great football minds, the sequential play calling, right? Setting up one play so that you can do another one down the field. like, different things like that, sequential play calling. It felt like that's what that was with the new lineup. It was, hey, Steph, go to the rack. Like, as soon as you get the ball in your hands, go to the rack. It started off with a Clay fadeaway mid-range jumper, which was sick. But it just started off with Steph, for the 3 straight offensive possessions, driving to the hoop. The first one, he made it over the double team. The second one, he dumped it off. Then the third one, they managed to get the ball to Poole. Like, it was nonstop. It was fantastic, man. But I don't even know where I was going with the point.
I feel bad. It was more so from just the Nuggets just, losing their shit from Jokic to DeMarcus Cousins. And I feel bad for Boogie because he never got a chance to win a championship with his team. And you could just tell sitting on the other sideline that he is, not on the other sideline, but across the bench, that he is jealous. He is mad. He doesn't like to be on this team. He wishes he was still on the Warriors. I feel bad. And when it's all said and done, I don't know what's going to happen with Wiseman, but I welcome DeMarcus Cousins back for a bench role.
Yeah, no, it was bullshit the way that he was ejected in that first game, though.
Well, who knows what he said to the ref, but yeah, he clearly is not a fan of the other teammates on the Nuggets.
No. Him and Will Barton getting into it, that was a highlight for sure.
So, Steven, I may be very hyperbolic with my Kevin Durant thing in relation to Jordan Poole, but let me ask you this. Warrior fans love Jordan Poole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I totally wrong in thinking that already Jordan Poole, now being officially a third Splash brother, because name is Poole, and God forsake, do you think that Warrior fans accept Jordan Poole as one of their own already more than Kevin Durant?
Yes, because he was homegrown.
Yes.
Because he was drafted to this team. It's plain and simple. A lot of Warrior fans still can't grasp the idea of Kevin Durant. Like, they don't like Kevin Durant. They just don't. They think that, hey, we were a championship team before. We didn't need him to win a championship again. Where in reality, you might have. You won't know that. It's just a hypothetical that's so far gone. But there are a lot of people who believe that. It all has to do with them drafting Jordan Poole. And those same people, though, are going to tell you that they thought that Jordan Poole was a bust, because every single person that's a Warrior fan thought Jordan Poole was when he went back down to the G League. Like, so you're going to get a mix you're going to get a mix there. But yeah, they've accepted Jordan Poole more just because of his journey. It's, I know he's still 22 years old, but he's been here for like 3 years. It's been something, man, for him.
No, it's been amazing, and I don't think it's even close. While people did love Kevin Durant, I'll never forget people booing when he won MVP for the finals. They wanted Steph to win it. There is something about in the Bay Area that fans like the guys that the team drafted. And while they have respect for the mercenaries or the free agents that come in, it's just not the same. So Jordan Poole, I think, has already gotten more love from Warriors fans than Kevin Durant ever got. And Bay Area fans could be upset that the Rams make these moves and the Dodgers makes these moves. In the end, it just won't be appreciated enough in the same way where I think Bay Area fans just like it, the old school style, the homegrown ways of just building things up with your own team by drafting them.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's a universal thing that, with Kevin Durant, he's so polarizing, but I'm still going to go back to what I really think of Kevin Durant, which is we don't like him because he is us. He is more like the regular person outside of the basketball talent and the athletic and how gifted he is athletically. As far as a human being, I think he's a lot more like a regular person than he is like, say, an athlete. I think he's I think he's a very relatable type of guy. Just wants to, be on his own, maybe settle down eventually. He's going to have his fun because he has the capability to have fun, but he just wants to chill, play 2K, maybe smoke a little bit. That's what he likes to do, just do his own thing. And we seem to think that, oh, and by the way, we're all insecure when it comes to social media. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a very relatable guy. I think he's a lot more like us than people give him credit for.
Are you insecure about social media?
Hell yeah, dude.
About what?
I don't know, man. You freaking go on Instagram, you go on Twitter, and you just think, wow, what am I doing? You know what's worse now? You know what's the worst? LinkedIn is just like it's the new Instagram now, where people aren't even like, they might be using it for connections and stuff, but they use it just to show off about their job and what they're doing at their job.
That's kind of why I steer clear of it.
What their next job is. But it's also a good way to connect for jobs, so I do understand that. But it's more, it's turned into the social media hell. And I've also, now that I've hosted a few times, I've had some people on social like say some not so nice things about me, and I'm like, yeah, all right, fine.
Yeah, Steven, at the end of the day, you got your own radio show, you got a nice girlfriend, life is good.
I know, but still, it's human nature, man.
I would tell you and Kevin Durant just nut up. You're fine.
See? There you go.
No, I love Kevin Durant, and I think he was very misunderstood, but I think it's something of Steph Curry is just a fun-loving guy. Klay Thompson's a fun-loving guy. Jordan Poole is a fun-loving guy. And Draymond does his thing, but everybody loves him too. So I just don't think that Kevin Durant ever fit in, even though he was trying to find love with the Warriors and trying to find, friendship and get out of the situation with Russell Westbrook. In the end, it blew up in his face, and he just never found that love that he was looking for.
Bro, you can make the argument that GP2 is already more accepted than Kevin Durant.
Yes. Kevon Looney, even.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, Kevon Looney.
He's been there. He's been through it all.
Hell yeah, Kevon Looney. Now, he might have been a little bit of a liability on defense in that game. Now, there was a ticky-tack foul that was called on him, but, still, we do love Kevon because he has had some good playoff games before.
Even Belizia. I wouldn't say that yet, but okay, Steven, I know you've been doing this all day, but let's just bring it up. What the hell do you call this lineup?
I don't know.
So on the broadcast last night, they said 3Gs, and I was like, no thanks. I
said that as a joke on the pregame show.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, you call it 3G because you don't know what you're going to get.
Isn't 3G like shitty now? Like we're on 5G now.
We're on LTE. We're not even on G anymore.
I don't know Wi-Fi shit, but
yeah, all you young people.
Yeah, I'm just an old fuddy-duddy over here. I'm not trying to get Girls Gone Wild off my TV. But yeah, I'm not a fan of 3G, and I don't know why Brian Anderson was trying to push that so hard. I don't know if Raymond Ritter was trying to say like this is the new nickname.
Despite I think we gotta wait. I think we gotta wait a little bit.
Hold on. I do like Death Pool, and I think from what my pops tells me, Tim Kawakami came up with it. I'm cool with that. I do like Death Pool. I think that's a good name for the lineup.
Okay. All right. I mean, didn't he create the Hamptons 5?
He did create the Hamptons 5. I wasn't a huge fan of the Hamptons 5 just because I thought it focused too much on them going to the Hamptons and recruiting Kevin Durant. We're past that point. I did like Death Lineup. We never really had a nickname for when it was Steph, Klay, KD, Draymond, and Boogie. I think it was just like the All-Stars or the Monstars, whatever the hell they wanted to call it. There will never be a concrete name for this. Everyone will have their own nickname. But I think Death Pool is cool. I'm not a huge comic book guy. I did like Deadpool, the first one. But if I had to pick, I would say Death Pool. But I don't think it needs to be a whole drawn-out thing where we need a name, damn it.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna rush into one, but people love nicknames, man. I mean, me and Zach well, Zach did. I was just on the board, but we did a whole show for 4 hours at night trying to get a nickname for Sean Livingston.
Are you talking about Zachariah Slenderbrook?
That I am. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I don't know. He'll probably be mad that I said his real name over the airwaves.
How dare you? But let me think. I want this to be something that is organic because Death Pool is just not organic to me. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Oh, here comes the Death Pool lineup. I don't know. There's something about it. The Death lineup worked, but
it's better than 3Gs.
Just adding Pool, I don't know about it.
Okay.
I put in our title the Kerrfect Lineup.
You like that one?
I don't know. I think it's stupid, but yeah, perfect lineup.
By the way,
it's Steve Kerr's perfect lineup. It's the Kerrfect Lineup.
Was that thing you were doing with Zachariah? Was that Sean the Mon Livingston?
Yes, Sean the Mon Livingston. Yeah, man. That was so bad.
Red Stripe.
Yeah, but no, I think it's we'll see if maybe they say something in like a post-game presser, like
well, I saw Bonte ask Steph Curry that last night. He was like, "That's for you guys to figure out. I'm not coming up with a nickname."
Well, see, the thing is, though, it's not for them to figure out. They're not going to try and say what their nickname is. I'm not saying that they have to come out in the post-game presser and say, "Hey, this is what we're calling it now." But I'm saying, like, for example, Jordan Poole at the end of that game, it was actually against the Nuggets in the regular season when they were kicking the crap out of them, and he yells "money time." That's Bonte's favorite thing, money time. And I'm not going to yell it like Bonte does every show. It gets loud. Love it. But he does a good impression. He does. He really he goes all out every time he does it. But it has to be something like that to me, where it's something that happens on the court, something that's maybe said in a post-game presser. Like all of Clay's nicknames are all very organic. Hey, he says something about scaffolding. It's Scaffolding Clay.
But how creative is it? It's just like Raider Dave or Raider. You just add Clay to the end of it.
Exactly. But, it was organic, though. Hey, he randomly wears a headband. It's Headband Clay. So
what's creative about that?
There's nothing creative. Like, it doesn't have to be creative, but it's organic, and it feels like it works in a weird way. So I think that's what we need to wait for when it comes to this lineup. But again, 204.3 offensive rating, 75 defensive rating, and they've outscored their opponents by 28 so far in their 11 minutes on the floor.
You're giving in, Steven. Give into it. It's the greatest lineup of all time. Come on.
No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that.
Yeah,
See, I don't know. What if it's called the Flow lineup?
The Flow lineup?
I don't know. You say
from the Progressive commercials? I'm not a big fan of Flow.
Why don't we? You know what? Let's just nickname it the Better Than KD lineup.
Oh, there we go. That'll really get him angry.
Yeah. The Better Than Kevin Durant.
Now he's gonna sneak in our DMs and be mad at us because I'm sure he's watching this.
Even better. The Etceteras lineup. Just take the name of his podcast and call it that.
Is that Katie's podcast, etc.?
The Etceteras, yeah, the Etceteras podcast.
So what's the deal with Draymond's podcast during the playoffs? Is he doing it or?
No, he hasn't come out with a new episode. I actually looked for one this morning, and I didn't
keep it that way.
Yeah, no, I don't. I wouldn't really have a problem with it, but also like I wouldn't have a problem with it. Although he did say in the last episode, this was just a throwaway line. Excuse me. This was a throwaway line by him, but he said because him and Steph were talking about media and business and all that, and Draymond's like, y'all didn't tell me how much work this was going to be. Kind of joking. Yeah. But at the same time, like you and I know, doing the podcast, we thought it was going to be fun and all this stuff, which it is. But it's also time consuming, and
it is time
that's
consuming.
What it would be for Draymond in the playoffs. I'm sure he's going to find like maybe he'll do one like after every series.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean I'm not discouraging him from doing it, but I want to say I saw him say that he's not going to have any guests on during the playoffs. He's just going to do an episode talking about the game and just focus on that on the off days.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense. Currently, we got some NBA games going on right now, and if I look up the scores, the Heat are pulling away from the Hawks 80-66 at the moment, and it's a tight one between the Grizzlies and Timberwolves, 24-23. But let's talk about these other playoff series, Steven, and let's start off with the big one, Celtics against the Nets.
I thought you were going to say Pelicans versus the Suns.
Well, I did not see the Pelicans. When we found out on Friday last week that Paul George got COVID and he missed the game. So now the Pelicans are in the playoffs without Zion. And I guess there's some weird thing where Zion wants to play, but they don't want him to play, or maybe flip-flop. I don't know the whole situation. Regardless, the Pelicans are in the playoffs. And let's get to that series later. But the Celtics and the Nets, it's a good one. The first game was great. We'll get game 2 tomorrow night. Tatum gets a layup at the buzzer, and they win the game. And just your thoughts on the games, Steve. I don't know if you watched on Easter Sunday, but Nets and Celtics was fun. There's a lot of other things going on with that series. We'll talk about it in a little bit here, but just your thoughts on Nets and Celtics.
I was in and out. It was Easter Sunday. Had a busy one. So the game was on TV, but we were eating Easter Sunday lunch, I guess.
Yeah, what does that consist of?
Ooh, well, I mean, ours was a variety of stuff. It was,
what do you eat? Rabbits?
No rabbits eaten, Derek. We had
I'm sorry.
Breakfast burritos on deck.
I don't know what you Gentiles eat for Easter.
We had breakfast burritos on deck, but we also had some mac and cheese, a couple of side dishes of like potato salad, and I don't even know what you call it, cheesy potatoes, I guess, like 2 different types. You also had donuts, croissants, little Stouffer's mac and cheese. You can get a little mix of everything. I had one of the breakfast burritos were separated into halves, so you could have half a breakfast burrito.
Damn, you had a smorgasbord.
That I did.
Who laid out the spread? Was it Jenny?
No, so it was my brother's sister-in-law's in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Extended family, you could have said.
Yes, extended family. It was my brother's in-laws' in-laws.
Okay.
So they had a whole bunch of stuff going on. It was a big family thing. So the Celtics and Nets was in the background, caught the end of it. But what I noticed, and I think the final possession really spoke to this, but it's just how well the Celtics can play the Nets defensively. Kevin Durant got some good shots in that game. I looked back on the highlights, and he got some good shots. Some of them were going in and out, like he did say after the game. Shout out to the In-N-Out Burger. But, Kyrie was great. But, the Celtics are a good defensive team, and that's why they are where they're at right now. So, good series. And then you had Kyrie flipping off the fans, which I actually loved.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second here. But yeah, the Celtics defensively, obviously, Marcus Smart winning Defensive Player of the Year. And yeah, KD 9 of 24, not his best game, but I know he'll come back with a vengeance because he usually does. Kyrie, say what you want to say about that real quick, Steven, and then I'll say my thing.
I don't think he was right to go at our guy Nick Friedel. How dare you? Trying to think Nick Friedel's trying to be critical of you, Kyrie. I don't know if you saw the post game back and forth with him, but Friedel.
You mean Alexander Scott, Nick Friedel?
But he was like
exactly the same.
He was asking him, because Kyrie had that clip where he said what he said the names that they were calling him. Mm-hmm. And then Friedel said to that point, was there any animosity? Then Kyrie's like, what are you talking about? Animosity? There's nothing there, blah, blah, blah. And he's making Nick's question seem stupid when it really wasn't. I didn't like that. But the flipping off of the fans, doing that throughout the game, I did like that. I know people were so, oh man, you can't get flipped off. No, what? You gotta be a professional. Dude, these fans are going crazy. If you get retaliation and it's just in the form of a middle finger and you're saying that that's wrong and you can't do that, get over it.
I'm not offended by anything that Kyrie Irving did, but I will say that he needs to grow up a little bit. What
about the fans?
Fans are fans. It is what it is. I'm not expecting anyone to throw water bottles at the guy, but he did leave the Celtics. He did say, I'm coming back to this team, and then leave. So while Kevin, I do not condone any terrible behavior thrown at Kyrie Irving's way or any terrible, Giants back in this game?
3-1, baby. And they got runners on first and third with 2 outs.
All right.
Scherzer looks shook.
Does he now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's all bug-eyed or different-eyed.
Different-eyed, yes. No, they're actually the same colored eye now. They've changed.
Are they really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, damn it. I think that Kyrie Irving, I had no problem with him, doing the back. It was kind of fun, him flipping the team back off the back of his head. But I don't know, to react to someone just saying "fuck you," and then his initial reaction is "suck my dick, bitch," and then he, if it's all fun and with Trae Young and the Knicks fans last year, I thought was really fun because he welcomed being an enemy and being a villain, and then it wasn't anything malicious. And I think Kyrie Irving sometimes takes that approach. Like in the post game, I didn't have a problem with anything he did, except for the fact where he said, "These fans are not about that life," or "I'm going to run up on one of them and they don't know what they're going to do." Like, Kyrie, are you really going to fight one of these guys over this? Like,
he didn't say he was going to run up on them.
He basically said, "You're not about that life, though. Like, are you really going to, fight a fan over this?"
I don't think that's what he was saying. I don't think that's what he was insinuating. But these
insinuating
fans are saying words that are fighting words outside of the basketball court. They wouldn't say anything like this outside of it.
I know, but they play basketball. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not suggesting anything terrible be said to Kyrie Irving, but if it's just fuck, like there was a chant last year for Trae Young that was "fuck you, Trae Young," and is that offensive? No, it's just fans being fans.
Well, we also don't know what the fan, like who the fan was, who he was directing it at. We didn't hear it. Like, I think he actually, I think he might have softened what they said. But hey, at least was it Bose? At least Bose can come up with another commercial, or Beats by Dre, whatever it was. And this part 2 of the Colin Kaepernick commercial where he brings on the noise canceling headphones, and then you got
you can tell everybody.
Let's sing it.
You can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Wait, no, it was Yes, I Am. Damn it.
I always get that confused with Elton John. Well, you can tell everybody.
Exactly.
This is your song.
This is your song. I actually think that they definitely got it from that, right?
I don't. You think Aloe Black is ripping off Elton John?
Yeah.
All right, possibly.
I think so. Aloe Black, by the way, fire Christmas album if you haven't heard it. Oh, we gonna have a funky ass Christmas.
It's funky ass Christmas. He says that.
Yeah, it's called funky. It's called Funky Christmas. We gonna have a funky ass Christmas.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely listening to that.
Hello.
I get it. Like, I understand that fans could be ridiculous sometimes, but I also think that Kyrie needs to expect a little bit coming back to Boston. Like, he did scorn that team. Now, again, I am not condoning anyone throwing a water bottle at his head. I'm not condoning any stereotypical things that Boston fans have done in the past to African American players. I'm not condoning any of that.
For sure.
But if it's no malicious intent, if it's no harmful things being done, if it's just curse words throwing back at each other, I don't think there's any harm in it.
No doubt. But, he hasn't done anything like get into a fan's face and sock him in the face. I mean, flipping off, I think, is the bare minimum of what he can do. And I'm totally fine with it. I think it's more fun. And any parent who is out there saying, like, this is a bad example that you're setting for our kids, just take a look at your kid's phone. He has a lot worse. He or she has a lot worse on their TikTok than whatever you're seeing on the basketball court. So, it's, I think we're past that point now. I like that, that regular scheduled programming starting to allow the swear words a little bit to come in more. It's just, I think it makes it more authentic. I think it's just that's what the world is.
We're getting Girls Gone Wild on NBA broadcast, baby.
It's just so random. Brought to you by the Beast Whopper. The Super Beast Whopper.
I like how we're doing Marv Albert impressions, but he's not doing the broadcast anymore.
That was my Kevin Harlan. I tried doing a Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan's got to be the hardest person to impersonate ever.
I can only do it when he was, there's a guy on the field. Oh, this guy is drunk.
Well, there he goes. There he goes.
One of my favorite Kevin Harlan moments, I think, is it's bigger than that, or when the Black Cat went on the field in the Meadowlands, not the Meadowlands, the new Giant Stadium. And what was the other one that he did recently? It was during the Super Bowl, right? Something happened. I forget what it was.
I don't know.
There was another funny thing that happened during the Buccaneers. I think there was a streaker during the Bucs Chiefs game. But Kevin Harlan, there was a promo he did for NBA All-Star Weekend, and one of the acts was going to be Little Uzi Vert. You ever seen this? Where he goes all out for coming up on Saturday night, Little Uzi Vert with his hit single, Money Longer.
I don't remember that.
I died laughing. That was just so good by Kevin Harlan.
He did one where it was like I think it was the Migos who were performing or something, or it was like Quavo, and then he went, burp, burp, which is their thing.
Kevin Harlan did that?
Yeah, he did
Oh,
that.
God. He's a man of the people. I love Kevin Harlan.
Mm-hmm.
Steven, these other NBA. I mean, I'll just ask you: have you watched any of the other series that intently, as close as the Warriors?
I tried watching Game 1 of Grizzlies Timberwolves, and I can't wait to get to the second game once we're done with this thing, because that series is a lot of fun. And I was watching it on the Cal train up, but the service kept on going in and out, so it was like it was really frustrating. Actually, it was cutting back and forth. I couldn't stand it. So really, I haven't caught as much of the Game 1s as I should have.
Mm-hmm.
I caught the end of Suns Pelicans. I was like, yeah, I'll tune into this. Oh wow, the Pelicans cut the deficit to within 10. Maybe they can come back. And then Chris Paul just starts treating these guys like they're JV players in high school.
Yeah,
and just starts going off, doing everything. It was actually, it all happened within a span of like 2 minutes. It was kind of it was a marvel to watch where he just decided to take over. So I don't know, man. I haven't watched that much. Again, Celtics Nets, not really. Sixers Raptors. I feel terrible for Scotty Barnes, whose name I totally omitted in the last podcast. I couldn't think of his name, but Scotty Barnes,
you got there.
Was the rookie for the Raptors, and then he ended up getting hurt, which stinks. And then the Sixers seemingly took over. So I haven't caught as much as I want to, and I wanted to watch Game 2 of Timberwolves Grizzlies. So here we are.
And I'm taking you away from that.
No, man. I mean, come on. We got to do a podcast. It's all good.
We'll get to the second half. What time is it in the game right now?
I don't know. I got the Mets and the Giants here.
End of one. Grizzlies are up 33-32.
Ooh, good one.
Ooh. Yeah, that series, I enjoyed watching that Saturday afternoon. And Matt Steinmetz picked the Timberwolves to win in that series, and they're looking good right now. They had a hard time stopping Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Williams.
Anthony Edwards, it's almost the same thing as Jordan Poole. Like, superstars are made in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole, I don't know if like Jordan Poole is going to get to that superstar status or whatever, but with that much riding on the number 1 overall pick and Anthony Edwards doing what he's doing, I mean, I don't know if it's just the armband that he wears, but it was like he took this mid-range jumper, and I'm like, damn, that kind of looked like MJ on the court the way that he did that. But I think it was just because he was wearing the elbow band, so like that could fool you a little bit. But watching him emerge into this guy who at first he was just this dude who tries to play too much hero ball. He's not playing with a very good team, and now he's in the playoffs and actually performing in those playoffs. I like it, man. I like what I'm seeing from Edwards a lot. And not to mention Jalen Brunson and Jaden McDaniels, all those guys on that team. They're playing pretty well. Whereas that was the Mavs with McDaniels and Brunson. So what the hell am I talking about?
Either way.
I'm mixing myself up here. Way too much.
Them up. No, I remember before the series started with the Warriors and Nuggets, a lot of people were saying we should avoid the Nuggets and try to lose a game so they slide down to the 4 seed, so they play the Jazz. I disagree, sir. I think that this has been the best scenario so far with the Warriors playing the Nuggets, with how, injury prone they are right now. And I think the Timberwolves are giving the Grizzlies all they got right now. And in that series, they may just beat each other up. So who knows what will happen when, hopefully the Warriors advance and we play whoever wins that series. And I think that's going to be a dogfight of a series. So they'll get beat up in that. And then the Jazz, they're not very good right now, and they just let a game slip to the Mavs, and we'll see if Luka comes back. But I think they're going to still win that series. But I think the Jazz are better. I think the Timberwolves are better. I think we played the best team possible.
The Jazz are, whatever happens with these playoffs, I don't think they're going to win anything. No. That team, it's not going to be the same. I go back to the ESPN article that was posted, I think it was the year after 2020. But it talked about the friction between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, and the fact that everything that happened with Gobert as, the guy who made fun of COVID, really touched all the mics and stuff, and then ended up testing positive for COVID. Seemingly the season was suspended. It's not because of him, but he was the first player to test positive. So
patient zero.
So, Mitchell didn't take too kindly to that. And then trying to balance the stars there. It's like, who's the star, Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell? They can't coexist on that team. I think by the time that this season's over, you're gonna see a different Jazz team.
You could be right. Are you wearing a Pizza Planet shirt right now?
Damn straight.
I love it. I love it, sir.
Didn't you always wish that you could have gone to a Pizza Planet?
Well, I'll bring this up. In Danville, were you ever familiar with a place called Pizza Machine?
No.
When I was a kid, there was this place called Pizza Machine.
No way.
They let you make your own pizzas and put the pizzas in the machines. Straight out of Seinfeld, with what Kramer was talking about. You never seen Seinfeld, I know.
I've seen Seinfeld, okay?
You're aware of Seinfeld, but you're like Cody Bellinger, where you don't know who Jerry Seinfeld is. That punk ass.
Come on. Come on. Give me a little credit here, because everyone in sports radio seems to know everything about Seinfeld.
If you are a 30-year-old white guy, you like 90s hip-hop, you like sports, and you like Seinfeld.
I do like Seinfeld. It's not to say I don't like Seinfeld. I just don't remember every single scene.
Well, I do.
I know you do. You mention it on every damn podcast, and every time we hang out. You ever seen that Seinfeld episode? No, Derek, I haven't.
I never do that to you. I know you don't watch Seinfeld. But yeah,
shut up.
I would say that
we're gonna fight.
we're gonna fight.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fight through our little screenshot here.
So was Pizza Machine good?
Yeah, from what I remember.
It's just kind of lazy.
Well, they make the kids make their own pizzas.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we're not gonna do it for you. That's what restaurants are supposed to do. They're supposed to make the food for you. You make it. You lazy. Yeah. Like, do you even tip? How do you get tips?
No, I'm putting the damn pizza in the oven myself. No tip.
No tip.
No tip. But I didn't tip much as a kid.
I'm
like Steve Buscemi in Reservoir Dogs. I don't believe it.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. Did you ever go to Primo's? Primo's was the better spot.
No.
You ever went to Primo's?
Are you talking about in Danville?
Yeah.
I've never really been to Danville. I don't know what. Like,
there's Primo's, there's Pete's, Car Wash and Brass Rail.
I'll
take you through Danville sometime.
I'm good.
The mean streets of Danville.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Too good for you, huh?
Yeah. It's a little too. I'm just kidding. I'd love to go. Let's go.
Okay. What were you gonna say though?
I don't know.
Too.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I was just trying.
It's a little too pop infested.
I'm trying to be as combative as I possibly can with you here, because you made me mad with Seinfeld.
Besides the Warriors, I think the Suns, the Heat, and the 76ers have been the most dominant in the playoffs so far. But I think the Warriors look better than all of them. So we'll see what happens here. Steven, let's get to some football, because that's what people want to hear. What's up?
Damn straight, we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah, baby. People like that in the last podcast.
We'll see it.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll definitely see what happens here. Let's get to some football, because that's what Steven, Babs, and Ernie want to hear. I'm just assuming because they're the only two people listening to this podcast. So, The latest with Deebo Samuel. Last time we talked about this, we didn't speak on this because it happened the day after our last podcast. But Deebo Samuel is saying that he's getting some terrible things thrown at him because he wants a new deal with the 49ers. Racist things, terrible things. This is the kind of stuff I don't like with fans.
Yeah.
Don't make it personal. Don't go down this road. It doesn't need to be like this. It's just business. Let's all fucking relax. No one needs to be insulting Deebo Samuel because he's trying to make his life better. So calm down, everybody. But since then, Deebo Samuel has gotten, well, I'm not saying he's recruited these guys, but A.J. Brown and Terry McLaurin have joined him in not showing up for off-season stuff. And it's just, it's early, it's off-season stuff. Let's not read too much into it. But A.J. Brown has scrubbed everything off of his social media stuff. Terry McLaurin, I don't know if he's done any of that stuff. The rumor is that A.J. Brown is supposedly close to a new contract with the Titans, and I would love to see how much they give him, because it's really early in his career, and I don't think he's earned $30 million or $28 million that Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams has received. But then you hear this report, and I don't even want to call it a report. I just call it speculation at this point, from my old buddy Adam Schefter. He goes on NFL Live today and says that Deebo Samuel will get a contract anytime he wants. The 49ers are willing to give him a contract, whatever he wants. It's just that Deebo Samuel doesn't want to sign the contract. He's trying to get out of San Francisco. And I've heard that this is just pure speculation from Adam Schefter. So I don't know what to believe right now. I don't want to dive too much into rumors and whatnot. And I did see this too. Thank you, Ernie. Apparently, his brother said that they are requesting a trade. If he leaves, he leaves. I can't. Yeah,
this has been going on through the podcast, and let me just do the thing here. Let me share it, baby. Yeah. So there you go. This happened all within the span of the pod.
Y'all take shit and run without Ion, knowing nothing.
Y'all take shit and run with it. I don't know nothing about what my brother's doing.
God, I'm so old now.
No, you're not. It's okay.
So, Debo's brother, does he have a name?
Taekwon, I think.
Okay. I was hoping it was going to rhyme. Like Meebo or Weebo.
Like from Flubber?
I didn't even think about that. That was the name of the robot, right? Weebo?
Yeah.
Doesn't Robin Williams end up marrying that at the end?
No.
Oh,
no, Robert. No, he still marries Marcia Gay Harden. I think.
No,
Marcia.
Yeah, you're right though. But the way I want to remember it is Robin Williams has sex with the flubber.
You're so weird.
So what do we make of this, Steven? So Debo Samuel's brother, what was his name again?
Taekwon.
We'll credit him as the source. He's reporting that Debo Samuel was going to leave the 49ers. Your thoughts?
Dude, I don't know what to think. I just thought this was regular, I thought this was just like regular NFL player who wants a contract. This is what happens, I still think that they're going to resolve it. I don't know what they're going to pay him. And we've done this over and over again, but him and AJ Brown taken in the first round, Debo taken in the second. They both have the same agent. They're both represented by CAA and the two same agents. That's according to Spotrac. I don't know how they're doing business there, but I don't think you're going to get one of those contracts without the other. So I think we got to wait for one of those dominoes to fall. But, I mean, would you trade Debo? Do you think the 49ers should entertain that?
Here's what I think. I think that Debo Samuel is not close to a deal with the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers are just willing to give Debo Samuel a contract either. They take their sweet time doing that, as we've seen with George Kittle and other guys. However, I know that they don't want to get rid of Debo Samuel because he's integral to their team going forward. I don't know what – I keep forgetting his name. What Debo Samuel's brother is reporting – Taekwon. I never buy into brother stuff because we saw that before with Kevin Durant's brother and other brothers, just, brothers, mothers, whatever, reporting stuff about their siblings or their sons. And it's just craziness that we take this as a valid source. I don't know what to make of it. All I know is 49er fans need to chill. I think this will get resolved. I just don't think Debo Samuel is going to get what he thinks he's going to get. And even if he gets traded to, let's just say the Jets, because Mike LaFleur is there. And he knows Kyle Shanahan. You think they're going to pay him $33 million a year, whatever the fuck? Or 25, whatever he's expecting? That's ridiculous. I don't think Debo Samuel, anywhere he goes, deserves a contract more than $20 million a year. That's a lot, in my opinion. So,
it's just your opinion, man.
Just my opinion, man. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Debo. I think to say that he's not going to get traded, I think is presumptuous at this point, just because we've seen crazy things happen this offseason. So anything can happen. I do believe that one of these four wide receivers is going to get traded. And I haven't even brought up DK Metcalf because he is going to go show up to, I don't think it's OTAs, but whatever this
voluntary offseason workout.
There you go. I think DK Metcalf is willingly showing up to one of those, but he could be traded. So I think one of these four guys.
No joke. By the way, I just got to mention this before. Now that I have it in my head, yeah. I woke up and I saw the Twitter notification. Ian, like the first words out of my mouth when I woke up today, I saw the Twitter notification from Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter, both. Jimmy Garoppolo not attending voluntary offseason workouts per source. You know what my first words were when I woke up this morning? No shit.
Yeah.
Like, really? No, Jimmy Garoppolo, he just got surgery and he's not going to voluntary offseason workouts. Wow, what a shocker.
Yeah, he's not going to like do the bench press with an arm in a sling.
Just a one arm.
Yeah,
just a one arm bench.
Just doing like James Harrison, like just
right
bodybuilding shit.
Yeah.
No, that I'm not surprised by that whatsoever.
So if you don't think though that Debo's going to get like Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill money,
I don't.
Which he shouldn't. Like that's money for guys who are going to be on their third contracts, not their second contracts. That's just how the business goes. But do you think that he is going to be traded for the type of value that they got? Because I mean, when you think about it, what was it, like a first and a second, and then a fourth and a fifth, and then I think like another
for Tyreek.
Second? Yeah, for Tyreek, and then
it was a buttload of picks.
And Devontae Adams, it was just a first and a second. I mean,
yeah.
With that, are you even going to get a first round pick out of that?
I think so. I think that if DK Metcalf or Deebo Samuel get traded, and Terry McLaurin's in that class as well of guys that could be traded draft night,
the Chiefs are going to get Deebo, aren't they? Oh man,
they may. I wouldn't rule it out with the fact that Green Bay and the Chiefs have 2 first-round picks that they make a move for one of these guys.
Yeah.
But then again, the Packers solved all their problems with Sammy Watkins. But I don't know what's going to happen. I wouldn't rule it out. I don't think that AJ Brown's going to get traded because the Titans are on record that they want to pay him. It's going to be interesting to see what he gets and then what the other guys want to get. But I wouldn't rule it out that Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, or DK Metcalf get traded. Okay. But I also know that the Niners don't want to trade him. Like that's not something they want to do.
No, not at all. I don't think they would either.
You got to be reasonable, Deebo and Tyquan.
And I think they even have a bigger problem too. I mean, on top of this Deebo stuff, like Alex Mack, this has been one of the more surprising stories. I know offensive line isn't the sexy thing, and I'm not trying to like stir away from the subject because we can get back to Deebo Samuel too. But wasn't it you who was? No, it was Joe. It was Shasky who was telling me that McGlinchey is looking thin right now because he's been injured and hasn't really been able to exercise. He's not looking as big as he should for a right tackle. I mean, he can get that bulk back. I mean, there's no saying that he's going to be skinny for the rest of the year, but
he'll be fine.
But Alex Mack, you got to shore up the center position. Daniel Brunskill, I think, is kind of overlooked, but I don't know what to expect from the offensive line, man. They also got to shore that up too. Like they got some things they got to figure out here.
Well, we're talking about Alex Mack, the offensive lineman for the Niners, and not the Nickelodeon character from the 90s, right?
There was an Alex Mack character for what?
Yeah, where's Elena when I need her? It's The Secret World of Alex Mack or whatever the hell.
Really?
People know what I'm talking about. Or they don't.
It up.
Less. I've heard Alex Mack's coming back.
Okay, man. Yeah, it's pretty funny because you have a certain last name, and it's like when you say you hear anything about the Nine.
Okay, hold on. Let me just. Obviously, I know what you're getting at. I haven't talked to my dad about it, but everything that I've read or heard, the expectation is that Alex Mack is coming back. No, Greg Papa has not informed me that Alex Mack is coming back. I don't need any Matt Mayoko articles written.
So you're saying you've heard from? You mean you've watched TV? Is what you said?
Yes, as we established in the last episode, when I say I hear things, it just means I watch TV or read a tweet from time to time.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like whatever you say, I've heard. It makes it sound like you've been talking behind closed doors. You know what's going to go on.
I've seen that. No, from what it sounds like is that they expect Alex Mack to return.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I don't think it's gonna be a Joe Staley thing where he retires right after the draft.
Right. Okay. Good point. But back to Deebo though, I really think there are some conversations about, and this is what we talked about. We said it's it's an absolute that Deebo would not play running back if he gets this contract. Like there's no way that they do that. But I don't think the 49ers are feeling that way. I think the 49ers are like, dude, we need you at running back. Like we don't have Raheem Mostert right now. Elijah Mitchell is Jeff Wilson back with the team?
He is.
He is back with the team. All right.
So they got Elijah Mitchell, and they, despite the fact of I've heard that they're not high on Trey Sermon.
But well, you don't. Hey, bro, you don't need to like say you've heard anything. You could tell last year they're not very high on Trey Sermon. Yeah,
but they drafted the guy in the second round, right? He was a second round pick.
Third, traded up for him, I think.
Okay, well, you know what you're getting with Trey Sermon. He's a straight ahead runner. He's not a zone runner. So I think that's a little crazy that they don't think highly of Trey Sermon already. Right. But you got a good backfield going between Trey Sermon and Elijah Mitchell and Jeff Wilson. If you want to play Debo running back from time to time, you could do that. But, you got to run into these problems with Debo's agent saying, well, we should be paid more than any other offensive player in the league if I'm doing both positions. Then keep doing it, Debo. If not everybody, like you said before, Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams are on their third contracts. So is Stephon Diggs. You got to establish yourself in this league a little bit longer to get paid like that.
Agreed. Totally agree. But they also weren't doubling as a running back and changed up their entire team with just one switch of the position. I mean, let me pull up Debo's game logs because
it's time for Steven's pull-up.
I love doing this. These are the only types of pull-ups I could do. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do the thing here. Share this screen. Wait till you see this. Wait till you see this Bab and Ernie. Watch how your boy does it. I'm a pro.
Steven's getting ready to pull up something. Let's check it all out.
Here we go. So you notice here, all the way from week 10 on, 5 carries. Okay. So, I mean, look at the amount of targets that he was getting. That's not the amount of targets a number one receiver should get. That is right there. The Tennessee Titans, 11 targets, 9 catches, 159 yards, 5 attempts, 32 yards. And then after that, pretty much started limping his way into the playoffs. But you're not seeing the type of targets that a number one receiver should be getting. I mean, those types of numbers here, the 5, the 2, the 4, the 1, the 5, the 6, the 6. I mean, that's what I expect Hunter Renfrow to be getting this year with the Raiders, So I'm going to be interested to see how they do it, man, because I think they want him to be more of a running back rather than a catcher of passes and a wide receiver. So I think that's got to be where the point of contention is with the money involved.
Well, Steven, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, Derek.
One thing we've neglected about on this podcast that I want to get into, and I know you are kind of iffy on it because the Raiders and Niners are not involved in the first round. But, Steven, it's a week away, my man. We got to start talking draft.
All right.
So let's do it then with a little segment I call Derek's Draft Deep Dives. Do you have any music for me, Steven?
Let me grab some.
Okay.
All right.
Not anything sensual like last time.
Well, all of this is sensual. It's
why?
Royalty-free music. Let's see.
Why is it all sensual? Okay, I can work with this.
Cool.
All right, Steven. So I've been boning up on the old draft because I've been working on Path to the Draft at NFL Network. And we got Joel Klatt who came in today, and he was talking about who he thinks are the best pass rushers in this year's draft.
Is this too loud for you? You go with the music.
No, I am good. Keep it coming, my man. So we got the best pass rushers in this draft. The names that are coming up are Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Trayvon Walker. So, just watching myself, I think that Kayvon Thibodeau is a great player. However, he does take plays off. And listening to Joel Klatt today, he did his top 10 best players in this draft, and he did not have Kayvon Thibodeau in there because he doesn't think he shows up at big moments. The knock I've heard the most about Kayvon Thibodeau is that he does not try hard and that he may not love football, which is, not a good thing if you're trying to get drafted. But
sign him now. Sign him now. If that's going to be the outcome in college, sign him now. Draft him. That's the number one thing. Oh, he doesn't love football. Get over yourselves, draft analysts. I'm sure he does. He's made his way to the NFL and been playing it every year. It's like, come on. Give the guy a break. I would get him. Oh, he doesn't love football. There have been so many guys who didn't love football in college and have thrived their way in the NFL. I can't give you any names off the top of my head, but I guarantee you if I do some research, I'd be able to. Go get Kayvon Thibodeau.
I like where your head's at, Steven. I agree with you that while people are shying away from him because of Jadeveon Clowney and the fact that, while Jadeveon Clowney was the physical specimen he was, and some might say that he doesn't love football, he doesn't try every play. I don't think you need to say that about Thibodeau. What's up?
That might be a good comparison. I mean, I forget about Clowney.
Exactly. Yeah. But my comp to Kayvon Thibodeau is like Clowney, not in the sense that he doesn't try every play. He's just a freak. He's a freak athlete. He gets around the edge pretty quick. I will say I agree with him, though, that he doesn't show up in big games. Aiden Hutchinson, however, does. In that game against Ohio State for the Big Ten Championship, he had 3 sacks, and he probably is the safest bet as a pass rusher. He's versatile. He lines up everywhere, and I know this is going to be, an easy comp because he's a white guy, but he does remind me of Nick Bosa. So I do think he's the safe bet at number 1.
This is not just me thinking I look like him, but do I look like him?
Did someone tweet that to you the other day? Because I saw that.
Spadoni and Madsen, it's getting nauseating. I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But every time that Aiden Hutchinson's up, Steve, it's you.
I would say if you gain some weight and got a little bulkier, you kind of look like him.
All right, yeah, because let me take a look here. Like I don't think I look like him. I mean, I just want to make sure I pull this up. I want to get the full picture.
Steven's pulling it up a second time.
He's pulling it up. He's pulling it up even more. I'm trying to build onto your segment here. I'm being a good co-host.
No, you are. You're helping me out here. Well, while I Jim Nance this, I hope he's got the picture.
I don't look like this guy.
No, not in that picture. No. Have you asked Jessie, your girlfriend?
No.
Let's get her opinion if she wants to chime in.
Smolder.
Real quick here, back to the pass rushers. Trayvon Walker, still learning how to be a great pass rusher, but he has the potential to be better than all of them. He's just raw right now, and I can see why teams want to get him as the first overall pick, because he has the potential to be better than all these guys. My comp to him, because he plays versatile in other ways too. He could play him at middle linebacker. He could play him at outside linebacker. He's kind of like Micah Parsons, where he is a Swiss Army knife when it comes to being a front edge guy or a middle linebacker, but they'll play him at outside linebacker. Then there's Jermaine Johnson. Couldn't crack the starting lineup in Georgia, but he transfers to Florida State, and he's the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Plays the run very well. He's not as good as the other guys, but he's a solid pass rusher. My comp to him, he kind of reminds me of Brandon Graham, where he plays the run very well and also gets, he won't be like a big sack guy, but he'll make some splash plays as a pass rusher. So I would say overall, there's also the guys George Karlaftis and Boye Mafi. They're solid players, but none of them stand out in the same way that these guys do. So, in my opinion, I do think Kayvon Thibodeau has the potential to be the best out of all of them, while Trayvon Walker is also in that same category. But the safe bet is Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that. Is that it?
No, I got a little bit more. Real quick here, Steven. We got, a few more days of the draft as far as this podcast in relation to it, so I'll just go through all the defensive stuff.
I only got a couple more hours in the day. Let's hurry it up.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm finishing up fast. Kyle Hamilton, most intriguing player in this draft. He plays safety, always making plays. I just don't know if you want to draft a safety that high, but he's very instinctual. He reminds me of Eric Berry. We'll see where he goes. I could see him going top 3 maybe, but some people are saying he's sliding now. I don't know why that is. Derek Stingley, when he's healthy, he is the best corner in this draft. His freshman year at LSU, he was fantastic. But since then, he's fallen off a little bit. He hasn't been healthy. I think, though, he may be the best player in this draft if he's healthy. He probably will go past Sauce Gardner, but my comp to him, even though this guy plays safety, he reminds me of a lot of Tyrann Mathieu. Just a kind of a smaller guy, even though he's 6'1". He's just shifty. You could probably play him all over the field. I think that Derek Stingley is the best corner in this draft. Then there is Sauce Gardner, and he's probably the safest bet at corner. He's probably the truest shutdown guy. He's not going to get a lot of picks, but he kind of reminds me of Xavier Rhodes. So there you go with the defensive backs in this draft. And real quick, Steven, the linebackers. You keep bringing up Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd. Listen to Joe Klatt today. He says that he thinks that Devin Lloyd is a top 10 player in this draft. However, It's just maybe because that the NFL doesn't value linebackers as much as they did in the past, is because it's a pass-happy league. But Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean have proven they could be good pass coverage linebackers. They probably just won't be taken that high just because of the position now these days, but I do expect Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean to be mid-level picks. So there you go.
All right. What I'm seeing right here is it looks like Nakobe Dean, because, McShay and Kiper did their rotating mock draft where they each choose like McShay goes first, Kiper goes second, whatever, and so on and so forth.
We're going to be seeing a lot more McShay at the draft this year, too.
Looks like Nakobe Dean, 21st to the Patriots is what they'd have. And then
I think that's right.
Devin Lloyd, 31st to the Bengals. How about that?
I wouldn't say that. I think Devin Lloyd goes a lot sooner than that.
Yeah. Do you, it's a lot more fun to look at these mock drafts, too, with Mel Kiper when you read it in his voice.
Do you have a good Mel Kiper impression?
I don't have Walker ranked this high. He's number 10 on my big board, but he's going to go in the top 5 picks because of his ceiling. If the Lions can't get Hutchinson, they should get an instant edge rush help with Walker.
Now, the key with the impression is you got to shake your head a little bit after you talk.
Yeah, right. I
finished a good point, and I'm going to finish it.
I got Ahmad Sauce Gardner going to the New York Jets. He could be the number 1 Sauce, maybe second to Pasta. With the top 3 edge rushers gone, I think the Jets will go with the best defender available. Gardner could be a shutdown corner, and you're going to tell me otherwise.
Don't tell me otherwise. I know what I'm talking about. I don't like vaccines. I'm Mel Kiper. All right. So let's finish up with this. The USFL. Steven, were you glued to your TV all weekend with this?
No.
Sure you were. So, second iteration of the USFL, it was the closest thing we got to a rival of the NFL in the 80s. And if you know the story, Trump ruined the league. Now, the USFL is back, and they play all of their games in Birmingham, Alabama. So even if they are the Michigan Panthers or the New Jersey Generals, they still play all of their games in Birmingham, Alabama. And I think this is a good idea. I do love spring football leagues. I'm a little crazy about football, obviously. So I will always watch and try these leagues out just to give them a chance. But I think it's idiotic that this league was not started a week after the Super Bowl. To do this the same weekend as NBA playoffs is just stupid. So more people are going to watch that than this league where you can watch Shea Patterson or Paxton Lynch play quarterback. It's intriguing when the Super Bowl is over and you want more football because we're all football crazy. But when you're giving me the Warriors and you're giving me all of these great NBA players, it's stupid to do it the same weekend.
Drake London could go to the New York Jets. This might be the best wide receiver all the way unless a team trades up. Jameson Williams could be an option. I like the 6'4" London a little more. He's a weapon in the red zone, Todd.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's my I don't have anything on the USFL. I don't have anything on it. I haven't paid attention to a single. What did you even just say? I've been reading through Kiper's mock drafts the entire time. I saw this on the docket and I said, you know what? I'll let Derek do his thing, but I'm not going to listen to a single thing that he says.
That's fair. Let me just say that the league started off with a bang, 2 touchdowns right off the bat, and it was fun. The games are fun. They're actually close games. It's not that different from NFL rules. I don't think there's any deviations in the rules and whatnot. There's no crazy. There's a 3-point play you could do, but
weren't they showing mic'd up videos of?
That's the cool thing.
The coaches and refs.
So the coaches can talk to the refs, and I'm surprised no one's dropped an F-bomb yet, but that's good. I do like the drone cameras they have on the field. It's very high-end broadcast stuff. The Fox and NBC are involved, so it's good. I don't know if it's going to last. I can't say that I was really intently watching. I had it on the background when there was NBA going on. I had the 2 TVs going at the same time.
Hell yeah. So with the 2 treadmills?
With the 2 treadmills. Oh, yeah, baby. So I haven't really given it a full shot yet, but from what I've seen, it's been fun. However, if this league is most known for a guy getting cut because he likes pizza more than chicken salad, we got a problem here. I mean, obviously you've seen the video, right?
Yes, I have. That's okay. That's not very good. Everyone is commenting on it. This league, good God.
Yeah, Kirby Wilson, one of the coaches of one of the teams. I'm not going to pretend like I know. he cut a player because he refused to eat chicken salad and asked to have pizza, and he was told, no, you're going to have chicken salad. And he said, well, that doesn't work for me. So they cut him. Now, the video makes it seem like it's really cold. There's reports out there that this guy cussed out the cafeteria staff. If that's the case, that's terrible. But I don't think he should be cut because he liked pizza over chicken salad. I like chicken salad, but I'm taking pizza every time over it. You too, Steven?
Of course, man.
Do you like chicken salad, though?
Yeah. Hell, right, I'd like a chicken salad pizza.
I was about to ask you, would you ever put chicken salad on your pizza?
I would.
I'd try it and probably throw up afterwards.
No, you wouldn't. I think you'd be fine. Chicken salad? No,
lettuce actually, chicken on a pizza, I've done it before. It's not that bad.
Lettuce on a pizza, though. Yeah.
I've had worse. People love pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like that?
Yeah. I see. That's one thing that, there's a few things that, make you kind of look back and just wonder, like, why did this become a thing? And pineapple on pizza, I didn't know it was such a point of contention with people.
Oh, dude, I got scolded the other day because someone at work asked me, do you like pineapple on pizza? And I was like, ugh, no. And they're like, no? Why don't you try it sometime? And it turned into like a whole thing where I was the only one that didn't like pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, well, it just, growing up, it was always when you go to a pizza place, the types of pizza that you get, if you're got like a big party and it's multiple people, sure, you can get, you can get the, you get the pepperoni, you get the classic pep, then maybe you get the cheese. Then if you're feeling saucy, I don't know what other word to use, you get the Hawaiian pizza, the ham and pineapple. Like, I just always thought that was a thing. I didn't know it was like people really hated it. So no, yeah. I don't like only pineapple on pizza. I like it with some sort of meat product on there, like a pepperoni or a ham, or I don't know, hell, even a bacon. Like, not alone though.
A bacon.
Yeah, like a piece of crumble.
A single bacon.
A single bacon. Oh my goodness.
I never heard someone say a bacon.
You shut up. There's cheeseburger pizza or Mexican pizza at Taco Bell. You see that? The Mexican pizza making a comeback. Doja Cat announcing it at Coachella.
Really? By the way,
yeah,
I've been trying to bring this up. I haven't found a good time to bring this up. Doja Cat. She's kind of growing on me. And I do like that one song, I'm a Cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. I go moo or whatever the fuck.
Speaking of it, like, from that perspective, dude, her music videos are freaking creative. Like,
I haven't seen them. They're good.
They're really good. I like Doja Cat's music videos. She's a different type, but she's really talented, man. I like Doja Cat a lot. I think she's like one of those mainstream artists that, people kind of just think, oh, Doja Cat, her songs getting played on the radio every other song, she must not be a very good artist. No, that's not true. Like, she's talented, man. I like Doja Cat. And another person, I mean, Lizzo is just starting to come out with some new music, and Lizzo's music is fire. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Lizzo makes very good music. Her last album was awesome, and she just made another song. I think it's called like About Damn Time or something like that. It's fire. But Doja Cat, she's very good.
Just call him Lizzo Langford because he's a big old fan. Oh, and Kendrick's coming back with an album, I guess.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. His last one was Top Dog Entertainment, TDE. Sad stuff. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. Something, no, I can't remember.
It's a very extravagant title. Just to give the updates, I think the Heat have officially won their game, so they're up 2-0. And I think we're at halftime for Memphis and the T-Wolves.
Awesome. Okay.
So we'll get to watching that now because we've hit our limit today.
I forgot to name this for the starting for the lineup. By the way, how about we call it the Will Smith lineup because they're gonna smack you right in the face.
We'll go with that one. We'll go with that one.
I like that. One.
We'll be back on Thursday. I believe we'll be joined by a guest just to give you a little sneak preview or just a hint of who it might be. He might say that some of these draft prospects are sneaky elite and blue chippers.
That doesn't help me.
All right. Yeah. Some people will know, some people won't. I'll confirm and we'll figure out if he's actually coming on. But until then, Steven, say what you always say, my friend.
Oh, man. God.
Were you trying to do Fat Albert there? What was that?
Yeah, it's just our opinion, man.